Listen, we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about this Cordae album. First things first, before I ask you your opinion on certain things on the album's called Bird's Eye View. I dig the theme. I think he really was really concise in the intro. Did you see the statement he put out like right before the album came out?
No, I didn't.
All right, I'm going to put it on the screen so people can see it. I'll read it real quick. Cordae put this out on his Instagram last night, last night before the album dropped. He said, so the album drops tonight. Each individual song has a significant place in my heart, as they were all inspired by real-life events, emotions, and experiences. With that being said, I ask y'all to please listen to the songs 1 through 12, intro to Westlake High, from top to bottom, with no pause, skips, or interruptions, as this is the way it was intended to be listened to, especially the first time around, as a complete body of work. Thank you kindly for your ears and support. Love, Cordae.
That's beautiful.
It's very nice, man. You know, it's kind of like that intro for Volume 3, where Jay's like, I know you're opening up your CDs right now. If you like when you're going through the credits.
Right. I mean, Mike, what's beautiful about it is that, well, that's the type of statement somebody who makes that actually cares about their craft.
Yeah. I got that when I listened to this too, by the way.
I got that when I listened to the project. Go ahead. Right.
I got that when I listened to this. I mean, in this streaming era and for his generation, because Cordae is like, is he under 25? You know, time
right.
Maybe
a little older, maybe. Right,
is he a little older? Okay. Well, anyway, even in the digital era, the streaming generation of music, period, not just hip hop, but especially hip hop. People don't listen to full bodies of work like that. I think that's why, you know, when Kanye in 2018 was putting out these projects with 7 songs, Daytona and stuff like that's perfect for the digital era, right? I think that what Nas just did with Magic with 9 songs is perfect for the digital era, because if one song catches you, then you'll end up flowing into the rest. But again, I think it's certain artists who demand that level of attention and notoriety, and I think that Cordae's kind of just developing that. So he wanted to put it out there like, look, don't skip around my stuff. And the fact that he has big-time features on there. Don't just skip to the features, you know, listen to the whole thing. Let me get to the features real quick, track list and all that. The features on this album, and this is the track list he put out. I want to say that was probably like earlier this week. So it has Nas on there, but Nas isn't on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that Nas verse dude was talking about didn't actually make the album.
Yeah. We'll talk about that too, because we don't know what happened with that. All right, so the features here, we got Gunna. We got Lil Wayne. We got Her, Lil Durk, Freddie Gibbs, Stevie Wonder. Nas wasn't on the song. And Eminem. These are big-time features, and I do think that for artists that's kind of developing momentum, I would say, like Cordae, he does need to tell his audience, or the audience, yo, you might want to, you know what I'm saying, check this whole thing out. And I think that's a great statement. After listening to the album for the first time, he's 24 years old. After listening to the album the first time, what were your thoughts about Cordae's album, Bird's Eye View?
Okay, so a funny thing about him for me is that got more familiar with him because I'm a big tennis fan, and he is dating the most skilled tennis player since Serena Williams, in my opinion, and Naomi Osaka. So I first got privy to him actually when he popped up at the U.S. Open with her. I'm like, who the rapper dude she with? And that's when I first started like checking for him, because he was dating like the best young tennis player in the world. And he's 24 years old. I just checked that, Mike. And so what I want to say is that much like the person he is dating, he is like frighteningly mature for his age, because that's why I thought he was older. The subject matter on this album speaks to somebody coming into his own almost in a reflective matter, as if they're in their late 20s approaching their early 30s. It feels like a late 20s man album. I mean that in a glowing way to how mature this album comes off. Mm-hmm. And how mature he sounds and how polished he sounds as an MC. He's dope, Mike.
He is. I think I need to make a correction. I mean, you know, we're on live streaming, so I might have said something in the wrong order. Nas the GOAT says, Mike, I didn't say Nas's verse was trash. I said Eminem's verse was trash. I thought I said that, but I'll make that correction.
You said Nas's verse was trash, so I'm glad you cleared that up. That's why I made the comment.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's just me doing a whole bunch of stuff at one time. My bad. Okay, well, speaking of which, and I don't even want to do that. Go into your order of how you listen to the album.
No. I listen to it. I mean, Mike, I'm a beginning to end project listener. Folks go around anyway. The song has to be completely awful for me to skip it on the first or second listen. So you're going to get 2 full runs out of me. The way that he asked is how I listen regardless anyway. Because I try to review a project from a full context mode of listening to it from beginning to end. I never skip the first 2 times. Never.
So what did you guys in the chat, what did y'all think of the album? Because I got a couple of notes here. I'm going to put the track list up here.
I got shades of J. Cole for better and for worse. Does that make sense?
It does, because I have some things to say about that as well. But yeah, go ahead. What does that mean to you?
I mean, here's the better part. He is, okay, so if you're comparing an artist under 25 to J. Cole, that means the kid's nice.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I hear shades of Cole or I can hear some of the Cole influence means the kid can rap. Like, he can rap. Not like his generation rap, Mike. Like, rap.
Yeah.
Rap. Because sometimes people from our generation try to kind of like scale it off. It's like, no. He's an MC.
Did you hear him rhyming over those Biggie records on the LA Leakers?
I most certainly did. It's some of the most impressive stuff that you'll find from somebody under 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's there. What song is it, Mike? One song on here, it's like his gift started coming out, like the MC.
It's a few of them, man. I mean, he put out
Super, Mike.
Super, yeah. He put out Super early. So,
yeah.
I don't mean that. Yeah. He put that out a couple of weeks back. And like I said, I listened to Super. I think we talked about it on the show. I was like, yo, man, I like it. He's spitting.
Super dope. He's spitting. So, like, that's one of those moments where it's like, oh, no, that's not your typical under 25 or even mid-20, late 20s MC for what he does. So he does a good job of balancing like that core lyricism and fundamentals that come with MCing, but also keeping his music current and fresh. But just like J. Cole, he's very, very skilled. It's not as entertaining as I would like it to be at times. This project really checks all the boxes, like you said, behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's like maybe missing a moment or something that really makes me like connect further. It's almost like checking so many boxes that it almost like bothers me. It's like, I know there's something wrong.
I'm gonna go to the chat real quick because I want to get people's opinion about it before I say something. Let's see. Mad Max says Cordae album was mid. He said the kid sounds like a diet J. Cole. LOL.
Wow.
Daniel Rosenberg says the Wayne verse is amazing. Terminator 2 says I thought Eminem's verse was whack. Daniel Rosenberg said I love the album. Nas the GOAT said the album was great. I give it a 4.25 out of 5. Daryl Baxter said it was solid. Reminds me of Sideline Story. TJ said I gave it a 3.4 out of 5. Good project. Daniel Rosenberg asked Coop, do you hear the Nas influence? I'm gonna let you answer that.
So that's kind of like how the tree works. What branch of the tree does J. Cole fall off of?
Kay Thompson says I still gotta listen. Been listening to JID's new song and Nick Grant. Oh, that's what's up. Nick Grant got some new stuff out there. I'm gonna check that out too.
Like AZ and Chainz got a new song out. That's what you need to be checking.
Oh man, it's just so much new music coming, man. And like I said earlier, we got Kanye and The Game dropping something at midnight. Gray 88 says a mix of Isaiah Rashad and Cole. All right.
I like that assessment. He's not. How about this? Let's go there with it right quick.
Okay.
I think he's slightly more skilled than Isaiah Rashad. Slightly, but not nearly as versatile or entertaining just yet.
Yeah. Isaiah Rashad, for me, makes a lot more entertaining music.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's why I keep going back to that Chad song. It's like, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, oh, that's wildly entertaining that you freaking it. You know what I mean? So I don't think Cordae is there with it. But like Isaiah Rashad, he checks all those fundamental boxes. Like Isaiah Rashad has something extra, and I think that something extra is probably what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
in regards to this album, but not in a bad way. Like that extra is what made Isaiah Rashad's album last year an album of the year contender.
Well, I agree with what you're saying as far as like this album to me, it has the makings of a really, really dope project. But like you said, it's missing that one or two smash song that, you know, like you said, separates him from the rest of the pack. And I only say that because of the personnel that's on this. I mean, he released the personnel on here too. And the fact that he's been getting a lot of support from, you know, all around, period. So the production, well, you know what? This is the personnel that he released, right? This had producers, composers, and vocals. He has Kid Culture, Boy Wonder, Hit Boy, Stevie Wonder, Dem Joints, Taraji P. Henson, Raphael Sadiq, Terrence Martin, Eddie Benjamin. Yeah, he's on it. Eddie Benjamin, Genius, Jake One, PJ, Schools Got the Hits, Hollywood Cole, Bong by the Way. Who else we recognize? Yeah, Mike Phil. It's a lot of personnel, right?
Okay, so when you say that, Mike, I hate that.
And the stakes is high, man. When it's not like you, because I feel like this is one of those albums just based on listening, the strong moments. He could have went and made himself.
Okay, so there we go. That's why I don't like it, because I'm like, well, hold on, Mike. That's a lot of help, and I'm hearing somebody that don't need that much help, and this is why I don't like it for him. He's 24 years old. That's a lot of production and artist money out of your budget gone when you're one of these artists that's capable of trimming some of that fat. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Like and yeah, because some of his strongest moments didn't have features.
No, Mike. I mean, can I be honest with you? I love the beat, the Champagne Glasses, and both him and Gibbs did their thing. But when I hear that beat, don't that sound like that beat is more made for Nas than either one of them two?
I don't know what happened with the Nas thing.
Like that beat sounds like it's made more for Nas than for Cordae and Gibbs. And you can even hear where Gibbs kind of adapts his flow midstream and picks up, and he does something phenomenal with it flow-wise, the way he starts flipping it with the beat. But track-wise, aesthetically, when you don't hear Nas there, I'm like, man, that track sounds like it's more made for Nas than them two, and the record is still dope. But, you know, those are just, like, slight misgivings that I see. And also, too, you get an anticipation for, like, hearing Gibbs and Nas on a track. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the fact that the young dude was able to get Gibbs and Nas and Steve, you know what I'm saying?
Stevie Wonder.
Mike, what does Stevie Wonder cost, Mike?
I mean, I don't even think there's a cost associated with that. And that brings me to my point. This brings me to my point. Listening to this album, I couldn't help.
For 100 G's, Mike. Rappers be asking for 100 G's. That's Stevie Wonder.
It's no cost, connected to this. This puts me in the mindset of like, I hate to be like this, right? I listen to this and I like you said, see the personnel. I'm thinking business, right? I'm thinking a business mind now. The industry really has a lot riding on Cordae and the success of Cordae. And I think it kind of reminds me of when they were crowning Kendrick Lamar this and that, and he had all the tools in his arsenal plus the backing of the industry to do what he ended up doing. And I think that Cordae, for that 25 and under crowd, it seems like the industry has their money on him. And that's what I see from the Stevie Wonder and, Eminem being on there, her and Dirk on there. I mean, like, anybody that you could think of, anybody that he would want. It sounds like his label was like, look, what's your dream list?
Yep, what's your wish list?
We got you.
I want Gibbs. I want Stevie.
Give me Dirk.
That's the homie. Right. No.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's no cost associated with people like Stevie Wonder on the track. He has to really be doing somebody a favor. You know what I'm saying?
So let me submit something to you, and this is somebody, I believe, older, but same age bracket, kind of same weight class-ish, that's on the album. The first time I listened to this album, Mike, it's like I told you when you texted me, you're like, what do you think? I was like, because I felt like it was missing something. Not like it wasn't good, but like it was missing something, and I was expecting maybe more. But the second time around, I think I know what it was missing.
What's
and
up?
I'm gonna be careful about how I say this because it's not bad. Mike, the production on here is good. It's not great. The production on Gunna's album is great, Mike. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, Gunna's on the album also. I didn't like that song.
Well, Mike, I didn't too much care for that song either because, Mike, I literally thought to myself when Gunna was on the record, almost every beat on Gunna's album is better than that beat. And that's when I started paying attention to the production of this album more and less about him because he's actually saying some things, doing some things. We just did the Kumo D thing. This kid is very good at sticking to themes to be a 24-year-old, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So what I started realizing is like, okay, he's in his bag a little bit actually. Are the producers in their bag? Because it's like I told you, when I heard Gunna's album, it's like, oh, Turbo in his bag, and it's evident. Metro doing what he always do, and it's evident. Weezy is steady and it's evident. And so what I would actually submit to you after the second listen is that he actually may have did a better job than the producers did on this project. What say you?
I agree with you. I think that the production is cool, but I also feel like it's the production he chose. I mean, he had that line in the one song where he said, get up with Hit Boy and get 10 beats. So it's like, I think that he was given everything that he needed as far as like personnel, budget sounds like too. And he chose what he chose based on where he feels like he's strong at. Because again, that Gunna track, he didn't sound comfortable on there. And that was like the first song that on that album that he didn't sound comfortable on. Actually, he jumped right back into the fold even after that.